Well, hey, Pop Pop, how are you? Happy New Year to you too. Happy New Year to you too. Thank you for joining me. It's a little slow, but it sent out a message. Let me see. Let me check my Facebook. Hey, RH, how are you doing? Thank you so much for being here. Hello, everybody. I know it's a little slow, so I apologize. Hi, Misha. How are you? Thank you. Hey, Misha. Hey, Just Be Real. How are you? Good to see you, Just Be Real. Thank you for being here. This light is super bright. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Dana, how are you doing? Miss Webster, how are you? Hi, Vanessa, how are you doing? Good to see y'all. I'm just making sure I'm live on okay, I'm on Facebook. Hey, Just Be Real. I actually connected my Instagram. Can you see if my Instagram is on live on here? Thank you, Pop Pop. I appreciate it. Hello, Miss Vanessa from Ohio. Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay, it's showing that I am live on Facebook. Let me turn my volume down so I don't interrupt my own self. I'm just making sure all the other channels are connected. I couldn't get connected. Hi, Miss Tamika Jings. It's not showing up on here. Hold on, my Facebook is not showing up on here. There it goes. Hi, Princess Greer. How are you? You don't see me on Instagram? It says my Instagram is on, so let me check. Hold on. Hold on a minute. Give me a minute. Let me see why it doesn't show me live. Okay, give me a minute. Let me see why it doesn't show me live. You guys, hold on just a minute. Let me check Instagram to see why it doesn't show live. Let's see what's happening here. So you don't see me on Instagram, right? Okay. I don't know why it's not showing me on live. Just Be Real. So I know I'm good on YouTube. I see myself on YouTube. I see Facebook. So I see people commenting on Facebook. Let's see. So I'm not showing up on IG? Okay. But I'm good on Facebook, right? Let me see. If I'm good on Facebook, I'm going to keep going. I don't see Instagram. I may have to set up Instagram. Okay, I see myself on Facebook. Okay. I may have to set up. I have to find my other phone, which I don't have. Okay, so I might not be on Instagram tonight. So Just Be Real. Just give me the thumbs up that I'm good on Facebook, and I'll just keep on talking. I'll keep on talking. I know Instagram, I apologize. Hopefully folks on Instagram will come over there. I'm still trying to perfect this thing. You guys give me a thumbs up that you guys are doing okay. You can hear me, and I'm gonna just keep on going. We're just gonna keep on going. We're gonna do this. Let me just check my Facebook on, not my Facebook. Let me just check my YouTube on here, and then we're rolling. Hello, everybody. It's been a long time since I've seen everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Let me just check on here. You say keep going, just be real. Hold on, I'm gonna send you a text. I think everything is kind of delayed. But hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Let me just check one more thing, because everything is kind of delayed on my account, okay? And it looks like it's kind of stalled. So it looks like it's a little stalled, but I do see myself live. So how is everybody doing? I'm gonna just wait just a few seconds. My name is Dr. Carmen Bryant, and you guys normally see me on TikTok doing car chronicles, and I usually post my videos on YouTube and Instagram and LinkedIn, and those, you see car chronicles. I'm usually sitting in the car having a conversation, but this is Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. I am your host, Dr. Carmen Bryant. Thank you so much for joining me. For those of you that are coming in and you're watching the replay, let me go ahead and clarify, because some of you guys get mad at me. You keep saying hello. So good to see you too, Jenna. Thank you for being here. Some of you guys get mad at me because you're saying hello and the live is already over with. Today is January 21st, 2024. It is 8:39 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you are not watching this video at this time, I am no longer live. And so some of you guys get mad and you tell me I take too long when it comes to the salutations and the greeting. You see this finger right here? I want you to put it down there. When you hover it right above your the video, there's going to be a back and forth circle, and you can fast forward the video. So you can fast forward the video to get past the salutations. But I usually stop and say hello to everybody. I have not been here in a long time. I thank you so much for joining me. Those of you that are coming in later, you're finding out that I'm live streaming again. I'm having some glitches because I had to go and get another computer and upload it, the restream. So I'm restreaming. And so some of the social media that I use, like Instagram, for example, did not load up into this app. So I would have to do it next week. Next week, I'm planning on doing an interview with someone near and dear to me. And I'm good on Facebook. Okay. Someone that's near and dear. We were having a conversation today, and we were talking about some of the things that they went through in their, in childhood. Hello to you too. But some of the things they went through in childhood, and they realized as they got older, it was not normal. And as my daughter, and I asked her if she would do an interview, my oldest daughter, if she would do an interview with me to talk about some things when she realized as she got older, it was not normal. What she thought was normal, that all relationships were like this, it was normal. But tonight I want to talk about, I have a topic that I wanted to talk about. I'm not going to be on here long. I know everything is kind of slow. So be patient with me. I'm not going to be on here long. I want to be on here maybe like 45 minutes. Just be real. If you can give me the 30-minute mark, because I'm getting back into the swing of things. I'm trying to get my, everything going. So usually when everything starts going, I can spend more time. But if you can give me about 45 minutes, just be real. Let me know when I'm at the 30-minute mark, because I'm going to open it up for questions. But I want to talk about some signs you might be dating a narcissist. Some of you guys may already be in a situationship. I don't call them relationships. I call them situationships. Some of you guys may be already in situationships. Some of you guys may be dating. Some of you guys are kind of concerned about dating because you're not sure, whether or not I should start dating. What am I looking for? And some of you guys, so I'm gonna be reading. I'm gonna look down a couple of times, because I'm gonna read. And some of the stuff you can find on the internet, but I just wanted to elaborate on some things. The first thing I want you to know is that when you meet a person that possibly has narcissistic personality disorder or narcissistic traits. Not everybody is a narcissist. Some people just have narcissistic traits. But nowadays, we don't know who has NPD or not. We don't know, and some of us have come out of these situations. So you don't want to be in the situation again. What am I looking for? What are some of the signs? Some of you guys, we find out that hindsight is 2020. You find out later on when you look back, you realize later on I didn't know this is what it was. I didn't know these were some of the signs. Some of you guys know, some of you guys have, and some of you can add your comments on there. This is, I realized this is, what I've been through. This is what I was doing. I mean, not I was doing, but this is what they were doing. Now, one of the things is that a narcissist will hunt a prey. Sometimes you don't know that they're watching you. There's something about you that they want. And it's not you and your personal time and your love. That's not it. Sometimes they look at you. You may have a car, you may have a house, you may have an apartment, you may have stability, you may have friends, you may have a personality. They may think you have money, or they may think that they can connect with you to get some of the stuff that you have to bring them to a certain level. So it's something that you have that they want. Some of them even want to be in your skin. And the longer that they're with you, when they get with you, you instantly become invaluable, whatever the word is. But you're it's like driving a car off the car lot. It depreciates as soon as you pull it off the car lot. No sooner they connect with you, you start depreciating. But when they connect with you, the first thing you'll start noticing is, and some of you guys may not realize it, some of you guys, hindsight, remember hindsight. But when you get with a person, you'll notice that that person is very charming. They're very, very charming, very charismatic, great conversationist. But if you really think about the conversation, who's doing more of the talking, you or them? Now, listen, ladies, there are some men that can outtalk a woman. Most of the time women outtalk men, but there are some men that outtalk women. And sometimes when you meet a narcissistic male, women gonna talk. But when you meet a narcissistic male, sometimes that narcissistic male will talk, because what they're doing is they're trying to convince you of how important and relevant they are, what they can do, how important they are, what they have, what they drive. And sometimes you do meet those, and oftentimes most men do not talk as much as women do, but when you do meet, sometimes you're going to meet that man is going to talk. And when they're talking, they're telling you who they know, who they met, who they bumped arms with. Sometimes, who they've been on a stage with, who they've done business with. And you'll notice, like, certain businesses, like, for example, if you have a person that may be a therapist or something, there are HIPAA laws, there are Privacy Act laws that are in place, but they'll start telling you people that they've met, or people that they're helping. And then they'll start name dropping. First of all, those of you know that if you've ever been in therapy, there's something called HIPAA laws and Privacy Act laws. You cannot talk about people's names. You cannot drop names like that. And so if you notice that they're or in the legal system, they can't drop names like that. And so if they're dropping names, and you guys, it's your first or second date, and they're dropping names, name dropping, and you notice that all their conversation is about who they know. So it's almost like their relevance is in the people that they know. It's like clout chasing, what the young people say, clout chasing, or for some people, groupie, or they'll tell you who is depending on them. Also notice how, a woman's going to talk. If you notice that, and most women, they like to look nice and everything. But if a woman is over sexual with you, men, sometimes men like that kind of stuff. They do. But sometimes you don't know that the person that is being over sexual with you could be a narcissist. And trust me, they've already locked in. And a woman, the power of sex is in the woman. The power of choice is in the man. My mother taught me that, and I started watching, and it is true. Sometimes you think you chose the man. No, the man chose you. It doesn't matter how much sex you give a man. If a man doesn't choose you, he's not going to choose. That's why so many women sometimes are with a man for so many years, waiting for him to marry her, and he never marries her. And then he leaves her, and 6 months later, he actually is proposing to a woman, because the power of choice is in the man. Now, he may stay with you because you providing all the wifely, all the wifely, what's it called? The wifely stuff, the things that the wife does. But at the same time, why are you giving wifey stuff? My grandfather used to always say, why buy the cow if you're getting the milk free? For what? But then he leaves you, and then he marries a woman that he's known for 6 months. And this is the person that he wants to marry. He's been with you for 10, 15 years, got a bunch of kids by you and everything. So the power of choice, duties. There you go. Thank you, Pop. Yeah. You're giving up wifey duties to a boyfriend. You're giving up husbandly duties to a girlfriend. Why are you paying her bills? That is not your responsibility. There's nothing wrong with helping her. There's nothing wrong with helping him, from time to time. But I'm old school. Pop, correct me if I'm wrong. Old school, back in the day, grandpas and papas and daddies, the concept was, I know this is a new generation, so please forgive me. It's a new generation. I know people do things differently, and we're doing things differently. But I know men used to pull out the chairs and men used to help the women, and their concept of family was, is I'm going to take care of my family. Nowadays, inflation is so high, women have no choice but to work outside of the home. And if a man agrees to that, there's nothing wrong with that. And there are some men, I can't see it. Pop, I know you agree with me. I just can't see a man sitting at home leeching off of a woman. But there are some women that don't have a problem taking care of a man, and that man lay up on the couch watching television, not doing nothing. I'm not just the type of person. I can't see that. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Thank you so much, Hash Brown. I appreciate you. Now, like I said, watch when they're very charismatic, they're very charming. It seems like things are moving really, really fast. You may say things like, dang, it's like I've been knowing this person for 1,000 years. We talking is a great conversation. Pay attention to who's doing all the talking. And then also pay attention if you're doing all the talking. If they ask you open-ended questions to make you talk, to tell them all of your business. And you notice that on the first date or the second date, you're telling them all your business. You're telling them how you've been hurt, all the people you've been with. Sometimes that's an unhealed wound. Sometimes that's an unhealed wound, and you have what the kids call diarrhea of the mouth. You just verbally vomiting, and you are telling entirely too much business. Even if a man is not a narcissist, a man knows how to get a woman to talk and tell them all the intimate stuff. They know how to make a woman talk. That's the game. That's the game that the man plays. And it's not the fact that a man has to be a narcissist to play the game. That's the game that the man plays. That's how they play the game. Get you to talk. Women, you got to be careful. Stop having, stop verbally vomiting. You're telling too much of your business, especially on the first and second date. That kind of stuff, you need to wait. He don't need to know all your business. You don't need to know your heartbreak, because the narcissist is gathering intel to find out what your kryptonite is. What is it? All those things that you're telling them that hurt you and that you've been hurt in the past are all the things they're going to use against you. They're going to use it against you to hold you hostage. The same way these people hurt you is the same way they're going to use this information against you. But as you're giving this information out, what you're doing is you are laying the platform to the movie, and you're giving them the script to the movie. They're picking what role they're going to play in your life. So if things are moving kind of fast, and all of a sudden you started noticing this is like my soulmate, and your emotions are wide open, and you're desperately waiting until they call you again, or, oh my God, usually 3 times. If you talk to them 3 times consistently, there's already what we call a soul tie. That doesn't have to be a church term either. A soul tie means your emotions are getting caught up in them really quick. If you notice things are moving really quick and they're already talking about moving in, they're talking about marriage and kids, they're talking about putting finances together. They got you telling about your expenditure, your bank accounts. They're talking about meeting the parents. You've only known this person a week or two. They're talking about marriage. It's only been a 6-month period of time. That is entirely too fast, ladies. He's moving or she's moving entirely too fast. They didn't introduce you to the kids on the second or third date. You putting the kids are in the past. Why are you putting your kids in it? You don't even know what you're dealing with right now. Another thing, let's say you go on a date. They ain't never got no money. You always paying for it. Now, gentlemen, I'm old school. Like I said, if you ask a woman out on a date, I expect you to pay for the date. Now, nowadays, I don't know what this is about going. Is it going Dutch where you pay half and half? No, if you ask me out on the date, my expectation is that you pay for the date. If I ask you out on the date, I will pay for the date. But I'm not asking you out on the date. You're asking me for my time. So my expectation is that you pay for the date. I'm old school. I don't know what you said. So let me say it to the back, so some people can hear me up there in the balcony. Make sure you can hear me back there in the balcony. That's old school. You know what I mean? There you go, E. O'Brien. That's old school. 1,000%. See, my dad said the same thing. See, my dad is on here tonight, y'all. My dad said the same thing. But I'm old school. If a man is interested in you, he should be investing time. Another thing, ladies, let me tell you something. Ladies and gentlemen, so this applies to both of you. He can never make time for you. No, in the very, very beginning, remember, he has all the time in the world. She has all the time in the world, calling and texting and back to back and texting. Now, when they start asking you, where are you? They want you. First of all, I'm where I'm at. I ain't got no ring on my finger from you. I ain't got to explain myself to you. I'm single. We're dating, I'm single. We're courting, I'm single. I'm your fiance, I'm still single until you make it official. And then I'm married to you and I'm accountable to you. This is what my mom told me. And you guys know my mom, Apostle Helen Sadler, your destiny helper. And this is what she tells all of us girls, all her girls. Dating is collecting data. Dating is determined whether or not we want to move anywhere else or move into another phase. That's not all inclusive. That doesn't mean that you stop talking to who you talk. Dating is just collecting data to see if I want to go any further with you. I've got my friends, we're talking to my friends, but I don't know yet. Dating is just collecting data. Then when you date and you determine, okay, I want to move further with this. We're dating, we're trying to figure out, now we're going to court. I would like to court, and I will make this all just inclusive. You and I, no one on the outside, you and I, let's make this all inclusive. Now we're courting. I want to court you to see whether or not you are marriage material. So I would like to make it just inclusive, just you and I. And then from courting, then it's the proposal. I become your fiance. And we continue that courting, and then we go into marriage. Okay? Remember that. So when they don't have time for you, though, they can text you all day long, but then when you call, they don't have time to talk to you. They can superimpose on your time, but they don't, when you call and want to talk to them, they don't have time to talk to you. They need to know where you at, but when you ask them where they're at, they have a problem with that. Let's see. Let me continue. They hog the conversation. So like when you're talking and you're trying to tell things about yourself, sometimes you'll also notice that they interrupt your conversation and start talking about themselves. Another thing too, watch how they handle their mothers and fathers. A man that is totally has a disdain toward his mother or disrespect toward his mother. A man can be hurt by his mother. You guys know that, right? A man can be abused and misused by his mother. A man that has matured, still respects and honors his mother, but doesn't mean that they have to be connected with the mother. But they're not going to constantly talk about them and talk about them to you. They're going to protect their mother, but they may not have a relationship with the mother, and they may not say much. That's respectful. But when they have a problem with the females, they have a problem with like their sisters, they have a problem with their mother. They have and you notice when they're talking, they always have something kind of negative to say about women. And in your mind, you're thinking, but you're out on a date with me. So if you're thinking that way about women, I wonder what you think about me. And they come up with a good excuse. No. Maya Angelou said that when a person shows you who they are the first time, believe them. When a person shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Tigers don't change their stripes. So look and see how they treat their mother. Look and see how they treat the women in their life. Look and see what they say about women around them. Because if that's the way they feel about them, trust me, that's the same way they feel about you. It just hasn't come up yet. Gentlemen, pay attention to how sometimes women have a lot of deep men wound, especially if there was no father in the home. If they didn't have a father in the home, they don't know what it's like, how to treat a man. They don't know what it's like to cook and clean for a man. They don't know what it's like to hear a man's voice in the house. They don't know, like my dad, my pop on here. I remember when him and my mom were married, and I knew when he was upset. When he was upset and that nose flared, just left him alone. I knew I had to wait for him to calm down and everything to go talk to him. But hey, he didn't cover for me a lot of times too. My dad covered for my stepdad. He covered for me a lot of times too, kept me out of trouble. But I knew when he got mad and that nose flared, I left him alone. I ain't bother him. But see, now think about it for just a minute. But a lot of women didn't grow up with a man in the house. So they don't know the attributes. They don't know the manners. They don't understand how men think and how men act. Men are usually not super emotional. They internalize. Women externalize when they talk. Men internalize. So they think a long time. Men are protectors. Men are protectors by nature, So, but if you've never grown up with a man in the house and everything, you don't even know. Or if you grew up in the house where your mother was mistreating your dad, dogging him out, she may have been the narcissist, or she may have disrespected him, dishonored him. And he did whatever he could to make sure that he stayed there for the children. But you watch your dad being abused. So sometimes women come out of the home, you don't know how to handle a man. So a lot of women have men wounds. My dad says so true. But a lot of women have men wounds. So men, when you're with a woman and you notice that she it's like she's entitled. There's a difference between being a queen. Just be real. So thank you for being here, Mr. Bryant. But there's a difference between being a queen. It's funny because that's my stepdad, and my stepdad has the same name as my dad. They're both Bryants, so we were Bryants, all in the family. But check this out. When a woman has been wounded, men pay attention to, there's a difference between one. I'm a lady and I want you to open the door for me. So I'm gonna train you early. When we date, I'm not gonna open the door. If I'm in the car with you, I'm not pumping my gas. I'm not pumping my gas. Old school. I'm not going to pump my gas when I got a man sitting right there. I'm not going to change my tire. I got a man sitting right there. Can you get the groceries for me? If we go out to eat, you take me out to eat, you pay for it. You open up the door for me. You open up my car door. There's nothing wrong with that, being a lady. But when a woman acts entitled, there's a difference. When a woman acts entitled, like you owe her, you owe me. That's a problem, men. Because really what's happening is you're paying the price for every man that has ever hurt her. Be careful with that. When you notice that and then if you notice that she's real materialistic, very, very materialistic. So she's checking out what you're wearing, what you driving, where do you work at? How much money do you make? What kind of watch do you have on? You know what I mean? I hear the voice, but you look so different. What's going on? I don't know what's going on, Brenda. But when a woman acts entitled, gentlemen, you don't owe her anything. And then some men are so wounded that they feel like that's what they have to do. They feel obligated. They feel guilty. Or sometimes men that have maybe lost their daughters or something, they feel guilty and they feel like they have to make it up. No, you don't. No, you don't have to make it up. Well, ladies, no, you don't have to make it up. I don't want to hurt her feelings. Hurt that heifer's feeling. Excuse me. Hurt that heifer's feeling. My mother just said it today. She said, gentlemen, and we had a couple that just got married. And one thing that she said is a woman is going to respect you when she knows that she can't cross your boundaries. When you stop her and hurt her little feelings, that she knows and she get offended, then she knows that you're not the type of man that she can cross. Now, I'm not saying be rude, gentlemen, to a woman, but you got to have boundaries, because we as women, we know how to push boundaries. We know how to be cute. Some women come out showing all their cleavage and showing it, whatever they're showing nowadays to try to manipulate a man. Be careful with that. And be careful when she's hogging all the conversation. And you notice when it's like a superficial conversation, it's all about her and what she's doing and who she knows and going to the gym and going to buy this. And I got to have this brand and my kids are this. And you know what I mean? Pay attention to those superficial conversations. Pay attention when they're feeding off of your compliments. Pay attention when they're always looking for you to compliment. They tell you something, then they always wanting you to compliment. They always wanting you to compliment. Let's see. They lack empathy. That's one of the biggest things right there. They lack empathy. They have an inability to feel how another person feels. That's a hallmark character of NPD. Hey, Precious, how are you doing? My sweetheart, little J. I love you too. That used to be my baby in the military. That was my baby that growed it up. Hey, little Jay, I love you too. But do they really care? Do they really care about what you're saying? Do they really care about your feelings? And some of you, 11 minutes, okay. But do they really care about what you're saying? Some of you guys, you got to remember, some of you guys are so desperate. Ask yourself, why do you even want to be in a relationship? Because that's a commitment. And love is not a feeling. Love is not an emotion. Love is a choice. You make a choice to love someone. When you don't feel like loving them, you still want to see them do it. Sometimes you don't even like your own kids. Sometimes I want to knock all my kids out. But one thing they know is that I love them and I want to see them do well. I want to see them progress. If they're going through something, even if I put them on timeout, I'll call and check on them, see if they're okay. Because I love my children. Love is not an emotion, because I don't feel like I love them all the time. Sometimes I'm telling you, ask my oldest daughter, sometimes I want to knock her out, but I love her and I want to see her do well. I want to see my grandchildren do well. And that's the same way in a marriage or in a relationship. When a person loves you, it's not about the feelings. Feelings go away. People get old. Everybody don't look the same way when they get older. I think Sinbad said it, her butt dragging in the sand. And then she talking about, do I look like I gained weight? You better be careful what you say. Girl, I love you. It don't matter what you look like. I love you anyway, girl. And he was a smart man. But empathy, to be able to step in somebody's shoes. And now I'm not talking about empaths. I'm talking about having empathy. There's a difference between cognitive empathy and emotional empathy. Cognitive empathy means I know how emotions work, so I know what to do to invoke your emotions. I know how to make you feel good, but I also know how to step on your heart. So I know how to manipulate those emotions. I know that at a funeral I'm supposed to cry, so I got to see who's crying and how you're crying, so that I can mimic that. Narcissists mimic stuff. But a person that truly has empathy, if your mother died, God forbid, and my mother's still living, and I start thinking like, I can't imagine what's that like. I've been with her all my life. I don't know what it is to do life without my mom. And I can't only imagine what you feel like, to feel that pain. Like, oh my gosh, I am so sorry. There's something like, that's empathy. When you talking to children, like you're teaching children empathy, and they hit somebody, and then or they call somebody a name. You like, remember when that happened? You remember how you felt? Remember you wanted to cry? That's not nice, is it? That hurts your feelings. So you apologize. See, you're teaching them empathy. But a narcissist does not have it. They have cognitive empathy. They don't have emotional empathy. A lot of them don't have long-term friends. Some of the friends that are in their life, they're using their friends, and their friends are trauma bonded to them too. So they're trauma bonded too. So some of you like, but they've had friends for a long time. That's not a friend. That's a flying monkey, or that's a person trauma bonded to them as well. Let's see. Another thing, be careful. It's like a person that has a sense of humor. Start paying attention to how, because 95% of a joke, or 95% of a joke is the truth. Think about it. And what if they're constantly joking and laughing at your expense? It's funny, but when you really think about it, like, wait a minute, they always have something to say about me. They're always laughing and joking about me, and I'm the butt of the joke. They always are, is something, and you start picking up on, they always are joking, but it's always about me. They're always picking on me. They always have something negative to say. They knock you down with insults. And when you're doing something that's worth celebrating, they always got something negative to say, even when it's something positive. Gaslighting. That's one of the biggest things. Gaslighting, yeah, disrespectful. But even with female friends, when you have female friends or you have male friends, and you notice that you always the butt of the joke. And it's funny, you laughing, but you start thinking like, wait a minute, they always talking about me. Another thing is gaslighting. Gaslighting is crazy making. Gaslighting, Gerald, I'm reading your whole now. I'm about to say Gerald Bryant won. But my dad said, true man will not do that. See, a real man will not do that. Now, gaslighting is crazy making. Gaslighting is to make you, it's like walking on eggshells and make you question everything that you know was right. What's right is wrong, what's wrong is right. You question your career field, you question your degree plan, you question anything that you've learned, anything that you know is right. It'll have you questioning. It'll have you questioning whether you're crazy. They got you thinking that you're even crazy. They'll have you thinking that you have mental health issues. They'll have you thinking you are a hypochondriac now. But it's crazy making. They'll make you feel anxious. A lot of you come out of these situations, you can't even make sound decisions because you're afraid. You need somebody to tell you whether or not that was a good decision or not. But you need somebody to tell you whether or not the decision that you're making is a good decision or not. You're confused a lot of times. You live away from them and you still question your reality. You feel like you're crazy. You think that you're the narcissist. Most people have narcissistic traits. This does not make them have narcissistic personality disorder. Some people don't have pathological, which is the disorder. It's on a like a scale. It's on a spectrum. You got non-pathological, non-clinical, all the way up to clinical, a diagnosis of the disorder, But a lot of people have traits, but that does not mean that they're a narcissist. But they'll have you thinking and questioning yourself, and they'll pick up on all the things on you and tell you about yourself, which is just like them, or they project on you. Everything that's negative about them, they'll project it onto you to make you think you're the narcissist. And you'll start thinking, I have people coming, I'm a narcissist. I think I'm a narcissist and I need help because I don't want to be a narcissist. If you are that anxious and you are that afraid that you may be a narcissist, You're probably not a narcissist. You probably do not have NPD. You probably have narcissistic traits. You might be selfish. You might be self-centered, egotistical, prideful, arrogant, but that does not necessarily mean that you have NPD. You feel like everything, this is a part of gaslighting. You feel like everything you do is wrong. You wonder if you're being too sensitive because they always make you feel like you're too sensitive. And they're doing stuff that you need to say something about. And then they dismiss your feelings. That's that lack of empathy. They dismiss your feelings by saying you are entirely too sensitive. You're too sensitive. You find yourself apologizing for stuff you know ain't even your fault. I said it ain't. I said the word ain't. But they'll have you apologizing for stuff that's not even your fault. You'll be in the middle of an argument and you know all you're trying to do is tell them, put the toilet seat down. Every time you go in there to use the bathroom, you got females in the house, or, or hey, empty out the trash can, or whatever, male, female, whatever. And the minute you say that, they'll tell you, I don't like the way you said that. It's the 4 minutes. Okay. I don't like the way you said that. I don't like the tone in your voice. I don't like your facial expression. No, because they won't be accountable. They don't like accountability. They don't like responsibility. So immediately they're diverted back to you. Then they'll start projecting onto you. You become the screen and they're the projector projecting all their negative, nasty qualities on you. And you know for a fact, like, that's not me, that's you. And then it's a circular conversation. It just goes in a circle. You never win the conversation. That's that gaslighting. You often question whether your response to your partner is appropriate. So you begin to question whether what I'm saying is even appropriate. Now, you didn't have no problem before, but now all of a sudden you're afraid because you got to overthink what you're going to say. Instead of just saying what you have to say, you can be respectful, say what you got to say. But then all of a sudden now you got to question yourself, like, should I say it like this? Should I say it like that? Should I not? But that narcissist doesn't care how they say stuff to you. And if you say it the same way they say, you're disrespectful. You see, that's what I'm talking about. And you're thinking like, wait, apples and oranges. What are you talking about? Now the whole conversation is based on how you talk. That's what I'm talking about. You're disrespectful. So yeah, I'll be very exhausted too. Just a circular conversation that goes nowhere. And then another thing, a part of gaslighting, is you start making excuses for their behavior. It's almost like you're codependent. Not almost like you're codependent. You become an enabler. You start excusing their behavior. Well, they have been hurt. I understand. Sometimes I am a little harsh. You put a lot of the blame on yourself. You won't let them be accountable for nothing because you're making up excuses for this narcissist. And then they make you feel obligated to make the excuses because you're my wife, you're my husband. You're supposed to cover for me. You're not supposed to make me look bad. To a certain extent, that is correct. You don't put their business out there. But the thing about it is that you can be in a blatant lie, and they blatantly lying, and their expectation of you is to lie with them to cover them so they won't look bad. Instead of you backing out like, I don't have anything to do with that conversation. Don't pull me in, and that's disrespectful. They think they're right about everything. Now, you guys know that they think they're right about everything. There's no such thing as them being in error. Hi, Cindy. Thank you so much. Thank you. But they're never in error. They never make mistakes. And you wonder, how can a human being be so perfect? How in the world can a human being be that perfect? Because they never make mistakes. And when they do, if they admit to a mistake, they'll admit to a mistake. But after the conversation goes on, all of a sudden you apologizing for the mistakes. You wonder, like, wait a minute, what was that? What was the excuse for? What was the apology for? Let's see. They're not going to hear you. They're not going to understand you. They're not going to reason with you. They don't take responsibility on their part. And they're not, there's no such thing as a compromise. So even in a discussion, we need to have an adult conversation. It's almost like a pointless conversation with them. Why even argue with them? Because it's a pointless conversation with them. And sometimes when you don't agree and you just say, we just have to agree to disagree. And you disagree. Do you know that sometimes what they do is they torment you? They won't allow you to go to sleep. They'll keep the lights on. They'll keep coming in there. You have to go to work. They try to wear you down to force you to agree with them over something that you know for a fact I don't have to agree with you. You say the sky is green, I say the sky is blue. We just have to agree to disagree. It's not an argument. You know, what's more important, the relationship or the argument? To them, the argument is more important, and them being right is more important, even when they're wrong. And they'll torment you. Yeah, sleep deprivation. Deprivation. That's right, Eric. Sleep deprivation. They'll force you to either comply or change your mind. And if you don't change your mind, they'll wear you out. Even in the morning, you get up to go to work, you tired, they come back and they start all over again. Sometimes they'll come to your job. They superimpose boundaries. They superimpose their boundaries on you. They come to your job to continue the conversation. They call you. You know, you're at work, the phone just ringing, and their expectation that you pick it up. If you don't pick the phone up, they'll even come to your job to ask you why you're not picking up the telephone. Harassing you until you change your mind. When you change your mind, they'll reward you. They'll leave you alone. They'll take you out to dinner. They'll make sure you get some sleep because they'll reward you. But look how you're being trained. Look how you are being trained to comply with that narcissist. These are all the things, if you ever wondered, am I in a narcissistic relationship? These are all the things you need to look at. It's time for questions. Okay. I'm going to do one more thing. This is the last one. When you show them that you're done, you're finished with the conversation, or you say no, have you ever noticed like they'll get, you never knew that they were that ugly or that angry. And some of them that are overt, that are quick to pop off, that have like lack of self-control, you know, all of a sudden you'll notice a 15,000 page text and they're just talking. And everything is about you this, and that's why you, and you this, but it's just the text just going. First of all, don't read the text, delete the text. That's too much. Some of you guys read it and then you get all emotional. When you see all that coming through, delete it. Do not read it, because they have control over the person that is able to move you, the person that is able to invoke emotions from you is the person that has control over your emotions. You need to have control over your emotions. And when you see them texts just coming, you need to block them. But some of you guys want to see that, want to read that. You get a high from reading that, because now you are tit for tat. Don't read those texts. Delete them. It's not worth your time. All right. So Just Be Real said we're on our questions. We are on our question time. I know I didn't have a lot of people on Facebook. I don't know if Facebook is really active at this particular time. Once they realize, because I haven't been here so long, so I got to get myself back to the mode of get myself back into the mode of coming on every Sunday. If you got any questions, give me about 10 minutes. Just Be Real. Give me about 10 minutes in questions, okay? My dad said they're baiting you when they text like that. Exactly. They're baiting you to argue back and forth. They're wanting a reaction from you, because a person that get a reaction from you, they feel in control. They feel like they're in control. And so as long as I can get you to react and react every time I say something, I still have control. And if you're ever trying to get rid of them, the best way to get rid of them is not to respond or react to them, period. Because as long as you're reacting, they know they still got their foot in the door. They still got their foot in the door. Okay, thank you for that. I was just going to ask you, how do I not let his words get to me to the point I self-harm? First of all, when you're self-harming, you're allowing that person to have control over you. Because what are you harming yourself for? What are you doing? Why are you doing damage to yourself? See, they put enough seed in you. Why do they need to do anything else to try to get you to torment, for them to torment you? You are now doing what they wanted to do anyway. You are tormenting you. The highest praise to them is if you hurt yourself or unalive yourself. To them, that is the greatest food you can ever give. Why would I drink poison hoping that you die? That's what the narcissist does. They're drinking poison, or they're putting out the poison. You're drinking the poison. Okay, hold on. Why would I drink poison hoping that you die? That's what the narcissist does. And you're literally dying off of the poison that they're spewing out there. You don't have to drink that poison. Let them drink their own poison. What comes around goes around. And I'm going to say this. The Bible says, do not be fooled. God will not be mocked. So what a man sow, that is what they reap. So there's a concept. Those of you who don't believe in the Bible, there's a concept of sowing and reaping. A farmer knows when I sow a grain of corn, when I do corn, put corn out there, when I come out there, the harvest is corn. So whatever a narcissist does, see, some of you guys are waiting for that karma. You guys waiting for what comes around goes around. Some of you guys are waiting, but when you're sitting there waiting, you think a narcissist is going to let you see them fail? They'll let you see them fall. They're going to hide it. That's why they become so grandiose. That's why they get so, and you're looking like, but they look like they're living a happy life. Why does a person that's living a happy life have to make sure everyone knows that they're living a happy life? That's the most miserable person that you'll ever meet. So why would you self-harm yourself to help that narcissist do what they're trying to do? What are you punishing yourself for? You haven't done anything. We all make mistakes. We don't always do right in relationships, but there's no reason why I'm going to harm myself. And there's no reason for you to harm yourself to help them. I'm not going to help you kill me. So I want you to think about that. It took me a long time to learn not to react. There you go. Respond, don't react. The golden rule is do not, like, if they text you, and if you have children by them, first of all, you don't have no kids or anything connected with them. Why are you talking to them in the first place? It's called no contact. No contact on social media. Some of you guys are still following their social media. Cut their social media off. Block them. There's no reason for you to have a conversation with them. For what? If you have kids, you have to have some type of conversation, but then you have to learn how to gray rock. Rocks don't have emotions. You have to gray rock. You have to practice turning off your emotions. You have to practice, hey, how you doing? How's your day going? Why are you asking? I'm great. Hey, what time are you coming to get the kid? I'm fine. Thank you. Some of you guys, I'm fine. Thank you. How are you? That's an open-ended question to keep a conversation going. I'm fine. Thank you. Hey, what time are you coming to get the kid? And you'll notice they keep trying to invoke conversation with you. Gray rock means it's a business deal. How many of you go to the gynecologist or go get a prostate exam and you just laughing and joking with the doctor? We ain't laughing and joking. Do what you got to do so I can come out of here. And why would I go to dinner with you? We ain't got nothing to talk about. We just been in an intimate place. why am I talking to you? What we laughing and kiki and cacan for? Do your job and get out of the room so I can get dressed again. And you guys have to be the same way. 5 minutes. Okay. You got to be the same way when it comes to a narcissist. Cut those emotions off. It's the hardest thing you'll ever have to do, but you got to practice. Keep practicing until it gets to a point where you're having a conversation. There are no emotions. You have to become boring to the narcissist. When you become boring to the narcissist, they don't want to talk to you. What is the best way to separate yourself from a narcissist? Separate yourself from a narcissist. Block them on social media. Block them on the telephone. If you can't move, you can't move. If they're harassing you, sometimes you have to get a no contact order. Stop contacting me. Stop stalking me. You have to stop talking to them, period. That's the no contact. You stop talking to them, period. There's no reason why you should be checking on their Facebook pages. It invokes your emotion. It invokes the pain that is already there as you're going through the healing process. Has anyone hoped that their narc doesn't wake up? A lot of people have. A lot of people have. And some people feel ashamed of thinking that way. But we're people. We're human beings. C said, wow, I never knew that. Thank you. I self-harm because I don't know how else to cope. Let out the scene. We're engaged. No kids. You might need to get out of that situation because what are you harming yourself for? I don't know what you look like, but you're a beautiful soul. Each and every one of you are a beautiful soul. Why am I going to harm myself for you? I'm going to cut myself up for you. You're not worth my time. If you're harming yourself because of that person, and that is a coping skill, you need to get out of that situation. You got different ways that you can cope. Chew gum, go bike riding, go swimming, go to a gym, hang out with some friends, go eat. Don't overeat. There's so many things you can do to preoccupy your time besides hurting yourself. You're doing that for him. What do you need to do anything to you for? You're doing it for him. Observe, don't absorb. Exactly, Karen, exactly. Brenda said, run, sister, for real. Absolutely. CA said, I'll stand on what I know. I have to learn to be open again. Reacting gave them their medicine. Yup. Because they knew they got to me. Absolutely. All I do is say sorry, yet we don't get a sorry. There you go. There you go. And why am I going to waste my time, my breath on you? You are not worth my time. See, some of you guys put them on pedestals. They're not worth your time. If a person has to, if you run it, listen, if a person doesn't have time for you, if a person can't make time for you, if a person really can't call you, you're calling them, when they call, you better pick up. But you call and try to talk to them, they don't have time for you. They can't make time for you. They're always busy. Why are you with the person? My dad said, I really hate to say this, but if you're doing harm to yourself after it's over with you, harm yourself. With you, harm yourself. And he's just going to move on to someone else to feed him now. Come on, this is coming from a man, sisters. This is coming from a man. My pop just said that. He's going to move on to someone else while you're still harming yourself. He got what he wanted, to destroy you from the inside out. I don't have to do anything else to destroy you. Now you're doing it for me. Now let me move on to my next victim. And that next victim, guess what? Probably going to do the same thing. Because most people, it is so intense that you want to do something. Have you ever seen little kids get mad and start hitting themselves? That's basically what you're doing on a different level. Jack Gooding said, first time ever, watched a few years ago. Well, hey, Jack, welcome back. Thank you so much for supporting me. Richard said, my narc actually did die. And I think I tortured myself worse than I should. But you shouldn't. It wasn't your fault. You know, whatever happened. But you don't have to torture yourself. And that's what happens for a lot of us that come out. We torture ourselves. Number one, we're ashamed. You know, we're ashamed of what we went through. We're ashamed that we even made a choice that we made. You look at yourself sometimes like, how did a person think about this? And I remember talking to Karen. You guys know Cluster Be Free, Karen. Both of us, you know, well, she wasn't military per se, but military women, professional women, headstrong women, strong women. And the first thing we were thinking is like, how in the world, 1 minute, okay, how in the world did I get myself into this? I'm educated. You know, my stepdad was there. My pop was there, you know, and he didn't like the first narcissist I was married to, and he sure didn't like the second one I was married to, you know. But the thing about it is that you start beating yourself. You're embarrassed, you're ashamed. How did a woman or a man of this stature, not saying that you conceited, how did someone like me, I'm educated, I'm in the forefront, I'm a leader, you know, I run businesses, I coach people, I lead people. How did I get caught up in something like this? Because these people are not normal people. These people are predators. How did a sociopath or psychopath lure children into doing whatever? How did pedophiles trick, you know, women into giving their children up for babysitting or whatever? Because they're predators. This is what they think about. So how can you beat yourself up for something you didn't know anything about? We know more now, but you can't beat yourself up for the knowledge that you didn't have at one point in time. Because if we had this type of knowledge, narcissists would have been exposed a long time ago. We're just now understanding what we're dealing with. Because see, in the DSM, it talked about narcissistic personality disorder. So the mental health professional, we understood the disorder, but we really did not understand the damage that this disordered person did to other people. It's now that it's coming up and people are talking about it. At first, like I said, when you're looking at NPD, you're looking at it from a therapist standpoint to help that person. We didn't understand what the victims were going through. Now we understand the nature of this narcissist because they all do the same thing on different levels. And now we understand what it's like to see people being tormented and tortured by these people. And now we're talking about it, you know. But if you didn't know it at one time, why are you beating yourself up? You have to forgive you. Forgive a person and let it go. Let them get stuck in their own karma. And I promise you they will. And you move on. And you forgive yourself, because there's nothing we can do to change the past. There's nothing we can do. Some of your best coaches and your best therapists have been the most tormented at one point in time. That's why they're good at what they do. I went through it for 20 some odd years, and that was in a marriage. And then in life, I'm 50 some odd years old, and I've had the experience for 50 some odd years. C said, I appreciate y'all honesty. You're right. If we weren't together, I definitely wouldn't self-harm. I've been with him for 12 years. I'm struggling to let go. You know what? It's one of those situations. Okay. It's one of those situations, unfortunately, that when you have to make up your mind, you have to make up your mind and lock in. If you don't make up your mind, Mr. Richards said 26 years. Pure hell, wasn't it? You know, but if you don't make up your mind, you have to, everything starts with a choice. You have to make up your mind. And when you 43 years, oh my God, but you have to make up your mind. And when you make up your mind, you got to lock down. It's like trying to lose weight. You got to lock down and you can't go back. You have to make up your mind. See, one of the things that I highly encourage, go find yourself a therapist that understands narcissistic relationships. Mo, hey, I love you too. But find yourself a therapist that understands. Since I was 7, I'm 58 now. I'm so sorry, Jack. You know, but find yourself a therapist that is well-versed in trauma, domestic violence, narcissist abuse, and get with them to start doing the work on you. When you start getting to work on you, and that's going to take time to build up your momentum, to build up your strength, keep coming back to these lives. I'm gonna start doing the lives I used to do them every Sunday. I just kind of got not overwhelmed. I just had a lot going on because I'm getting ready to open up an institute. So I had a lot of stuff going on at one time. But I know a lot of you were looking for me. So I said, let me get back on my Sunday lives so that you guys can get on. Follow my lives, follow my videos, follow me. Go and find Helen Sadler, your destiny helper. Go find Telsha with the T on MPD. Go find Cluster Be Free, Karen Cluster Be Free, and go find, support group. Go find yourself a support group. I do classes. Sometimes I do courses, and I invite the public to come. I invite you to do some of my courses. I have courses on. Just Be Real. Can you put my the link? I got 2 courses out right now. On my link, is a link is on. Ona Academy. I think it's Ona Academy. I have to go look and see what my own academy name is. But if you go look on my Facebook, or if you go look on my profile on YouTube, I think you're on YouTube. Yeah, look at my profile on YouTube. It's got the link up there. It's my academy. And I got 2 courses. One course is the grief and loss, especially like after narcissist abuse. And the other one is codependency. But I have a conference coming up too. For those of you that know, I will be in Atlanta, Georgia on July 27th. I've started the pre-ticket sales. Get the tickets now while it's early, because I have them on sale right now. So these are the pre-conference sales right now while they're cheap. And the other thing too, if you want to make payments, I'm accepting some of you guys can't pay right away, but some of you can make payments. If you want to make payments, and I will send you an invoice where you can make payments. Email me at drcarmenbryant@outlook.com. It's DrCarmenBryant, one word, drcarmenbryant@outlook.com. Tell me that you would like a payment plan. Let me know if you want general session or if you want VIP. General session usually is from like 8 to 5, and then we're going to do VIP in the evening. And VIP is from 7 to, we're going to do like 11. We're doing a dinner. We're doing formal. It's going to be white this year, formal. And my guests are myself. I have Telsha with the T on MPD. I got Tasha Leland. I got Tasha Fields, who is a phenomenal millennial. I have my friend Bridget Griffin, who is a domestic violence advocate. My mom is going to be there. Helen Sadler, your destiny helper. My big sister, Bishop Kathy Gibson. My life is intentional. When you meet these ladies, there's a difference when you see us online. But when you are in our presence, is different, because we get to come over there, we get to hug you, we get to hold on to you, get to sign your book. I like to joke and laugh, so I'm gonna walk around messing with you. And then I have a meet and greet the day before. So I got general session, I got VIP, and I got a meet and greet the night before. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start offering courses. When I do these courses, if you come to my courses, I will give you another discounts to the tickets. If you can't be there in person, then you can be there on Zoom. I'm also doing it on Zoom. If you go to Overcoming Narcissist Abuse, one word, overcomingnarcissistabuse.ticketleap.com, overcomingnarcissistabuse.ticketleap.com, and you can go ahead and get your tickets if you want to go ahead and purchase the tickets. If you want to make payments on your tickets before I change the price on them, if you want to make payments on the tickets, just email me. She put it here as drcarmenbryant@outlook.com. And email me, let me know to send you an invoice. I have a couple of invoices I have to send out, but I will send you an invoice and you can make payments. It'll be a cutoff date within a few months, but you can go ahead and get your tickets now. I'm going to be in Atlanta, Georgia, July 27th. We're going to have a great time. Every time Atlanta was just a hot spot, and I enjoyed every minute of it. Listen, I want to meet you guys. Please come on out there to support us. We're going to be out there. You'll see Just Be Real. She normally comes. So that's my assistant, my personal assistant. But she's out there. You get to meet a lot of the people that you talk to on here. And it's phenomenal. My mom has a conference coming up in August, and we're going to be in Dallas. And that is a 3-day event. And that's from August the 9th to August 11th. And on the 11th, so the 9th, which is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then Monday. So 9, 10, 11. There's 3 days. That's the conference, 9, 10, 11. It's a 3-day conference. And then on the fourth day, we're going to a perfumery. We're going to all go together to a perfumery. And so her information will be posted shortly. Mine is already up. So I will be in Atlanta July 27th. So make sure you start getting your tickets now. Don't wait till the last minute, because I got to get a head count of everybody that wants to eat, and on top of that, the meet and greet the night before, I would like to meet you guys. We always have a great time at the meet and greet because all of us are out there talking. And so, but it's listen, I enjoy meeting you guys. It is phenomenal when you're actually in person with a person. I am starting a coaching institute. I'm a certified coach trainer, and I'm opening up a coaching institute. Now, some of you are thinking, well, she's going to be teaching just on narcissist abuse recovery. No, this is a coaching institute. Some of you guys are financiers. Some of you guys are digital marketers. Some of you guys are health and fitness folks, faith healers. Some of you guys, all these different things that you do. So I will be doing a coaching institute that certifies you in coaching. And so and it's going to start from A to Z. It's going to teach you, the business aspect of coaching so that you are legitimate. You are a legitimate business. Then teaches you about about coaching itself, how to coach, how to, you can create your own niche, how to do coaching. Who is your consumer versus who is your client? So all these things are things that I'm going to be offering. I'm also going to go after I open up the institute. I will also offer up a niche. If you want to do a overcoming narcissist abuse recovery niche, a transformational coach, a niche, and I will, and you'd be surprised. Most people think is the niche is just very narrow. But a lot of you, you understand that when a person comes out of narcissist abuse, they need help. Some of you guys need to be a parenting coach. Some of you guys know how to get resources for people to get them from point A to point B. Coaching is not therapy. Coaching is taking a person from point A to point B. Where do they want to be in their life? All this stuff that I'm going to be teaching, in this coaching institute. And so I will let you know when the coaching institute is ready. That's what's taking a lot of my time, because I want to make sure that you guys get quality training for what you're paying for, and then what I'll do is, maybe, I don't know how many weeks I'm going to do it yet, but yes, I'm going to have a coaching institute. It's going to be open. So as soon as it opens, you guys will know if you want to get a coaching certificate, a certified coach. And then you be a coach in anything you want to be. It's not just one thing like overcoming narcissism abuse. This is a coaching institute. A coaching institute. And some of you guys, like I said, some of you guys are work in the marketing industry. Some of you guys work in business industry. Some of you guys work in like parenting. Some of you guys are teachers. Some of you guys are childcare providers. So a lot of you guys have so much gifts and talents inside of you. And some of you guys want to come out of the corporate. When you come out of the corporate, you can start your own business. Now, you don't want to come out of the corporate first and then start your business. You want to start building your business and then build yourself up and then come out of corporate, because some of you guys have so much information that somebody else is benefiting from. You like sense? There you go. But some of you guys are businesses are benefiting from your skills when you can take those and you can make money. There are certain organizations that'll never run out of money. You guys, you have to make a determination. Individual coaching, that's not a lot of money, but when you do group coaching and when you focus on certain things like, who am I catering to? Who is my client? The Department of Education, childcare, the some of them are franchises, the franchise, what can I add to? Some of you guys are so gifted. You know what I mean? So gifted. I was an assistant head teacher. I now have a channel on keeping low profile while on long-term sick, planning on never returning. It's NARC world. So I'm interested in having a coaching certificate. Okay. All right, Jack. So as soon as, just look at my YouTube channel, look at my Instagram channel, look at Facebook. As soon as I open up the academy, you guys will know, because of course, I'm going to be advertising. So you will know. I'm glad you're going to therapy. That's good. Can't wait. Thank you, C. Do you think counseling would help as well, along with EMDR therapy? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Just Be Real is probably over there just trying to throw a clock at me. But that is it for this evening. I will be back next Sunday, same time. The only reason why I was a little late tonight is because I got a brand new computer And so I was trying to set up my channel because on my other computer, all the channels were set up. And so I got to go in here and figure out what happened to Instagram because Instagram didn't come on live. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably go live on Instagram on my telephone next time so that Instagram is a part of it because I know I missed out on Instagram. And I usually have a great following on Instagram. But you guys make sure you share this video. Share the video. Let the people know. Come on in here because I gotta turn on TikTok too. So I have to have two different stands to turn on TikTok and turn on Instagram. But I'll do that. Well, next week I may not be able to do that because of the fact that I'm gonna do my daughter. I asked her if she would do an interview. And for those of you that have family members, some of you that have come out of families like this, this is my daughter who came out of narcissism, narcissistic family, put it that way. And her and I were having a conversation and she made the comment. She says, I just didn't know it was not normal. She said, I thought that's how families lived. I thought that's what families did. I didn't know that was not normal. She said, and I asked her, I said, well, let me ask you a question. Did you realize it was abnormal when you started hearing me teach about it? So ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. I started teaching about it and my kids started learning about it. And I didn't even know that a lot of times they were watching my videos. My daughter bought my book and she didn't know. Like, she's like, some of the things that you went through, I never knew that you went through until later on. She said, I'm watching the video. She says, I didn't know it was abnormal. She said, I didn't start learning until you started teaching about it. So ladies and gentlemen, sometimes your kids will benefit from the videos when you're listening to it. Don't force them to listen to it. You listen to it around. Sometimes you'd be surprised. You listen to it in the car. They start listening to what you listen and start asking questions. But my daughter, who is 34, who's be 34, she can be 34 years this year. Matter of fact, she'll be 34 next month. 34 years old. And she said, I didn't know it was abnormal. I didn't learn until I started listening to your videos. So I asked her, I said, hey, would you mind if I maybe interview you next week? She said, sure. So I would like to bring her on board next Sunday, and I'm going to interview my daughter. And you can hear, and I'm one of the coaches. I'm a therapist. I do this all the time. That you'd be surprised as some of you have been through it, and some of the things that your kids going through, and you are welcome to ask her questions. Now, I'll let her know how far we're going to go into our business, but just the simple fact that she'll let you know, I didn't know that this was abnormal behavior, and this is what ended up happening. She says, I was traumatized. I didn't realize how traumatized I was until recently. I was really traumatized in my childhood, And like I said, we're not going to get into details and really our family business, but you guys can ask her questions because some of you guys went through it as well. Thank you so much. Jessica said, Dr. Carmen Bryant, how awesome. How awesome. I'm an interpreter. That would really help me grow. Absolutely. Girl, you could be a coach interpreter. You could teach this. You can make money off of this. You'd be surprised. Let me see. I wonder what my alienated grown kids will do when they find my videos. Never know. Just make sure you're not doing it for the purpose of trying to harm someone. Okay. Much love to you too, Jessica. Awesome. I'm 35, so I look forward to hearing the conversation. Absolutely. Absolutely. So you old enough, or you young enough to be my daughter. You'd be surprised. I stopped getting notification from you. I'm so glad to see you again. Well, thank you, Miss Julie. Probably because I haven't been on live in like a year. Probably a little less than a year. You're so welcome, see. But I'm back. So, now we have to pick up the algorithms. Once we pick up the algorithms and you start getting the notifications again. And so that's probably why a lot of people are coming in late. But hey, I really appreciate you guys tuning in with me. Thank you for the awesome questions. I really appreciate you guys. Please, I want to see you guys in Atlanta. If you can't come physically to Atlanta, you can still watch us on Zoom because I do the general session live on Zoom. But I'm telling you, it is a blessing. When you guys come in person, I get to see who's behind the faces and the names. I get to meet you guys in person. I get to hug you. I get to sit and laugh and joke with you. You guys get to see that I'm a real person, and what you see is what you get. I am who I am. Thank you, Pop Pop. Love you too. Oh, wow. Exactly. That's how I felt as well. Amen to that. Oh, that's it. That's it, Miss Brenda. That's it. That's it. But I want you guys to have an awesome evening. Thank you so much for joining me. Share the video. Get people to come in and watch the video. Share the video. Make sure you go to my mom. It is Helen Sadler, your destiny helper. She's on YouTube as well. I think she comes on live on Wednesdays. You got Telsha with the T on MPD. You can find her on TikTok. You can find her, I think, on Instagram. uh, and on YouTube. You got Cluster B Free Karen. So you have to pick who's your flavor. We have my awesome little sister. Her name is Tasha Leleman, Confessions of a Christian Girl. Awesome motivator. All these people have knowledge about narcissist abuse. Some of them have been through it, but these are awesome women that can really, really. Hey, Leona, how you doing, pretty? Thank you. But all these women are gifted. They're gifted. Listen to them. You find your flavor. Everybody is not for everybody. You know what I mean? So you have to pick your own flavor. When you pick your flavor, you'll find somebody that you like and just follow. I'm interested in watching your interview. Oh, girl, thank you. You've been knowing us for 500 years. Our kids went to school together. They've been knowing each other since they were high schoolers, before we became grandparents, girl. Yes, but I'm gonna bring her. I'm gonna bring her on. I'm gonna bring her on. I'm gonna let her talk to y'all next week. Okay. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Please tune in next week and then watch my videos. I'm on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and I post videos during the weekday. So please join in. Hey Danielle, sis, how you doing? Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. I just have to get my momentum going because you get tired, so I got my momentum back up. So, and I know Jeffrey over there just like get off and go to sleep. I'm Ills. You guys get to meet Danielle. Danielle is Apostle Helen Sadler's moderator. She's been really busy, so she hasn't been moderating lately. Oh, and by the way, on Monday nights at 6 p.m., which is Pacific Standard Time, my little sister, Victoria Sadler, is on Clubhouse. You guys check her out. Then my mom, Helen Sadler, your destiny helper, is on Clubhouse. All of us are on Clubhouse with her on Tuesday. On Tuesday at 7:45 Pacific Standard Time. That's AM. And so that's 9:45 Central Standard Time, and that's 10:45 Eastern Time. And this is morning time. And we're on the platform with her. So a lot of us that are going to be at the conference, we're on the platform with her on Tuesdays. So please tune in. Go to Clubhouse and please tune in. It is Apostle. It's under Helen Sadler, your destiny helper, and that's on Tuesdays. And then my little sister, you guys go support her. Very powerful, intelligent young woman, and she is on Mondays, and she really make you think. Not only does she really she make us think as professionals, she make us think, but she's on at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Please go in and support her. It's going to be next Sunday at 8. I'm gonna get Mercedes on here next Sunday at 8. I'm gonna post, just look on my Facebook, and I'm gonna post her picture to let you guys know I'm gonna interview her next week. But she allowed me. I told her, I said, hey, some people need to hear what you have to say. And so I asked her if she would do it. If the kids would be asleep at that time, she says she'll do it. So I'm gonna get her on next week onto my YouTube channel. So let me look and see how we invite guests. Let me look. Okay, yeah. Wait, let me see. I'll probably have to text her this. I'll get her on here for you guys. We'll get her on here. So I'll probably be talking to her on the phone while I'm trying to get her on here. But guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I'm gonna let you guys go. I love each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Hey, and tell Mr. Horn, my big brother, I say hello to, and tell the girls I say hello. You guys got a beautiful family, girl. I'll be watching you guys on Facebook. That big old beautiful family. And then they Hawaiian too. They Pacific Islanders, and they like to cook. She can cook, y'all. They be cooking. You want to lick the screen while they're cooking. I'm like, look at all that food. They can cook. Hey, Natasha. I'm back. Hey, guess who I'm interviewing next week, Tasha? I'm interviewing Mercedes. Mercedes going to do an interview with me next Sunday. Oh, she waiting to throw the clock. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm ready to go. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. You guys have a wonderful evening. Good night, you guys. See, now y'all saying hello to Tasha because Tasha then came up here. Thank you, see. I appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Tasha said, oh, Lord, this is going to be good. I might have to just let Mercedes know not to be ghetto. She got to be real professional. Yeah, she got to be real professional. And then y'all don't be all up in her business like that. I'm going to let her know where to cut it off when she don't have to, all in the business, We Samoan. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, girl. I'm sorry. You guys are Samoan. I am so sorry. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. My Samoa family. Yeah. And they've been cooking since my kids were little. We used to come over there, eat at their house. Every time they barbecue, we were over there going to get some food because I know they were cooking and they likes to eat. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to go. Good night, everybody. I got carried away. I'm sorry. I ain't seen y'all in a while. So I'm so sorry. Y'all have a great evening. Love you guys. Good night.